Today we're digging into a really powerful tool that separates just being busy from making real, actual progress. We're talking about KPIs, or Key Performance Indicators.
Let's be real for a second. It is so easy to get caught in the daily grind, right? You feel productive just because you're busy. But here's the tough question. Is all that effort you're putting in actually moving the needle on what matters most to you? Because without a clear way to measure, you might just be spinning your wheels.
And this right here is where KPIs come in. And look, they're not just for some giant corporation. They are for anyone who wants to be truly intentional about their progress. Just think of them as the gauges on your own personal dashboard. They're telling you when you're on track, when you might need to make a little change, and maybe when it's time to double down on what's working.
So here's how we're going to break this down. First, we're going to put you in the driver's seat and define some personal KPIs. Then, we'll talk about how you can use that data to make way smarter decisions. We'll even take a look at how a massive company like Spotify uses this exact same thinking, and then we'll wrap it all up into a tool you can use again and again.
Okay, let's get personal. We're going to start with the most important business you'll ever run, your own life and your own career. And I'm going to assume you've already done some of that big picture thinking.
You've got a vision, right? You know where you want to go. You've probably even done something like a personal SWOT analysis, mapping out your strengths and weaknesses. But here's the thing. A vision without execution, well, it's just a daydream. The real question is, how do you bridge that gap between your big goals and what you do every single day? This is where KPIs become your secret weapon.
So, how do we make all that progress feel real and tangible? Well, we do it by defining your personal KPIs. Now, what's so powerful here is how concrete these are. See, a KPI isn't some vague aspiration like, I want to be better at my job. No, it's a signal. It's a real number. Are you delivering more high-impact projects this quarter than last? Is the feedback you're getting trending up over time? Is your influence growing? These are the real, measurable signs of career momentum.
And this isn't just about your job title. It's about what you can actually do. Saying you want to get better at writing is fine, but it's vague. But tracking, say, the number of articles you publish, or seeing a measurable drop in editing time, or logging the hours you spend in deliberate practice every month, that is turning a wish into a concrete plan. And come on, let's be honest, you can't be a top performer if you're running on fumes. That's exactly why KPIs for your health and energy are completely non-negotiable. Think about things like your average hours of sleep per night, how consistently you're exercising. You could even just do a simple 1 to 10 rating of your energy level each day. This isn't soft stuff. This is the absolute foundation of high performance.
It really all boils down to this classic saying. If you're not measuring it, you're basically just guessing. KPIs are what take the guesswork out of your growth.
Okay, so you're tracking your data. Now what? This is the point where KPIs go from being just a simple tracking system to a really powerful strategic tool.
This is really where the magic happens. Your KPIs are like an early warning system. Let's say you see your project output dip for 2 weeks straight. You can step in before that becomes a huge problem. Or if you're spending tons of hours learning a new skill, but your work quality isn't improving, your KPIs are screaming at you that it's time to change your approach. This is the very essence of working smarter, not just harder.
This slide, right here, captures the single most important mindset shift you can make. It's about moving from a focus on busyness to a focus on impact. So instead of just asking yourself, am I putting in the hours? You start asking, are these the right hours spent on the right things? It's a total game changer.
Now, this way of thinking isn't just for you and me. Let's take a quick look at how a massive company, Spotify, used this exact logic to totally dominate a market.
So think back to when Spotify first launched. Getting people to sign up wasn't actually their biggest problem. It was getting them to stay. I mean, they were competing against free, illegal music piracy and the lifelong habit of buying CDs. Their whole challenge was about proving their value and building real loyalty.
So what did they decide to measure? Well, not just vanity metrics like total downloads. No, they got obsessed with the things that showed a truly healthy business. Monthly active users, who's actually using it. Churn rate, who's leaving and why. And maybe most importantly, time spent listening per user. They knew that if people were spending more and more time on the platform, they were getting real value from it. And this data drove every single decision they made. They could literally see that features like personalized playlist made listening time and retention shoot way up. They figured out which podcasts kept users coming back for more. Spotify didn't win by just guessing what people wanted. They won by measuring what mattered and just iterating relentlessly based on that data.
So how can you take all this and apply it in your own life? The key is to see KPIs not as some rigid corporate thing, but as a flexible framework for thinking.
See, when you start using KPIs, a few things happen. First, that vague vision you have becomes a trackable mission. Second, your strategy suddenly becomes adaptive because you're getting real-time feedback. And most importantly, your personal and professional growth becomes visible, tangible, and totally undeniable.
Ultimately, KPIs are like your own personal compass. They don't choose the destination for you. That's still your vision. But what they do is give you the hard data you need to stay on course, to navigate challenges, and to make absolutely sure that every single step you take is a step in the right direction. And that is what it means to be thinking like a business.